You know why the term common sense is not that common, has lasted through the test of time? Because we all don't have the same sense. We all don't think with the same reason. We all don't see shit in the same manner. We all provide relativity when observing a situation. So common sense will never be common amongst the general people. The reason why I say that because I think in regards to this current event topic, when you talk about Alabama being anti-abortion and imposing laws against abortion, I would think common sense, being a human being, assuming that you have abilities to choose under any circumstance, I would think common sense would say it's a woman's choice to do what she wants to do with her body. You talk about separating church and state, when you talk about abortion laws, obviously ain't shit separate about the motherfuckers. When you have a law imposing, regulating, this constitutes as religious beliefs. When you talk about abortion, whether or not you want to be pro-life or pro-choice. So long for that separating church and state shit. But aside from that, common sense to me, that's why I said it's relative. It may not be to you, but common sense says to me, I want to be able to have my choices. So why would I not let somebody else get their choices, especially under a situation so extreme? You talk about giving birth. As far as a male, you talk about governing bodies, predominantly male, imposing these mandates. Mainly men. You have your anomalies. You have a couple women out there claiming that it should be a mandate, and you hear the rhetoric of, well, don't have reckless sex or be careful. Well, let me debunk that real quick. Without reckless sex, pregnancy can happen. With the condom, with contraceptives, pregnancy can happen. It has happened. That's why all them contraceptives, they never say 100% foolproof. You might get pregnant taking birth control. It happens. The most careful motherfucker could get pregnant. For two, it's still the decision of the motherfucker holding the child. How do you reach the point where the decision is made by a governing body outside of that individual? What does that say about our society? We lack free will in a lot of aspects. If you're imposing government mandates, it's taking away the free will of the individual. Not just these anti-abortion laws, but you talk about mandates and vaccinations. Imposing any type of mandate is a regulation on your own free will. If you don't have the ability to say no or say yes, you have to do something, at essence, you're talking about taking away your free will. Now, I know these are two separate situations. For abortion, there's many different reasons to be pro-choice, as opposed to the rhetoric on vaccinations and how it's more helpful than harmful. So these are totally two different scenarios. But at the essence, you're letting governments mandate what you choose to do. You're saying that you're not capable of making the decision. When you make somebody choose something, you're saying they're incapable of making the decision themselves. What does this say about the patriarchy we live in today, where a predominantly male governing body is saying no abortions? Niggas with no experience on the situation at hand. Niggas, there ain't never been a nigga that have a pregnancy. This shit is crazy to me. And you have to sit outside your male bias. The same way, alright, put it like this. If you're a male and you're pro-life, think outside of your own male bias to at least acknowledge you don't have no experience being a woman. Not one day. You have not been a woman for one day. It's the same thing when we talk about white privilege and white bias. As a white man, you have no experience being a black man. So the best thing you can do is try to listen to the black man or listen to the woman, because you never been in their shoes to understand. So if you have the masses of women in outrage because you're not giving them the ability to choose, why are we not listening to the women? Why are we projecting our male beliefs in a patriarchy on women? That's what's going on in Alabama. That's what's going on in Ohio. Even under the extremities of rape, incest, can't get an abortion in some of these states. It's really a sickness. It's really a sickness. And to me, at the essence, it's all about free will. I'm someone who, I acknowledge we're bound by a structure, but if we don't have to be, if you talk about giving us the most choices possible, especially with our own body, within our own self, do it. We don't have to do it. We should be given a choice. And it's as simple as that. It's your boy Dame. I want to know your thoughts. If you pro-life, why? If you're a woman in pro-life, I really like to hear your comments because you have much more of a perspective as far as someone who can get pregnant than a male. We're sitting on the outskirts of this shit, man. We need to acknowledge that. Our opinion don't really matter like that in this situation. We just need to support our woman and trust that they know what they talking about under this circumstance. The same way I think white folks need to trust that black motherfuckers know what we talking about being black. So if you out there acknowledging white privilege, if you out there saying white privilege exists, but you also out there saying male privilege don't exist, peep your contradiction. If you out there saying male privilege exists, but you're not out there saying white privilege exists, peep your contradiction. Because all governing bodies controlled by white males. Our structure was built by white males. Should be able to see both. It's your boy Dane.